Just keep it off the books. Not a secret. It's off the books. Joey Jugs.
Okay, we are back. We are live. Make sure you guys can hear me. 1 2 1 2. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Like I told you, I'm going to be doing this every day. Every day. Can't stop, won't stop. In the name of that, you know, in the words of P. Diddy, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we have an awesome, I have an awesome program for you guys today. Let me get this camera's a little iffy. Sorry about that. I think that should be a little bit better. Sorry, might wobble for a second. It might wobble. Let's see. Can you stop wobbling? Can you stop wobbling? All right. We got Stella. Stella, how you doing? All right. She's happy. She's happy. So yeah, today what we're gonna do, it's gonna be I got a segment. This is called my friend's dad came up with the quote. It's called Cuckhold Colonization. And it's talking about what's happening in the UK and what's also happening in parts of America, like Minnesota. And it's basically when, we're being colonized. There's Western countries that are being fully colonized. And, basically they're taking full advantage of not only the land, but also the women of the land. So let's see. Let's start it off with some cool segments. Let's go. I think I got something where a guy's covering all of this happening. So let's see. Let's go.
This is what it looks like when kids get out of school. This is what the political candidates look like. This is what it's like walking through the grocery store here. The UK has become unrecognizable, and that is why I traveled thousands of miles to come here, to find out why and how this happened. Did the UK truly fall, and do they want to do this to our country next?
They definitely do. And I heard like the number one name right now in the UK is Muhammad. Like the number one boy's name, like for children born, it's Muhammad.
My street interviews in this episode, you will learn exactly why this happened. People warned me that I could get arrested or worse making these videos, but the truth needs to come out. Welcome back to the Nate Friedman Show.
You're Muslim, right?
I'm Muslim, yeah.
Cool. Can you tell me about the Muslim community in Whitechapel?
The Muslim community is very tight-knitted.
It's tight-knitted?
It's tight-knitted.
Okay.
They're very good people.
Very good people?
Very good.
Yeah. And when you say it's tight-knitted, does it mean like is it easy to join? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, it's people that, inshallah, we hope good for them. We hope good for them. And I think that it's good to, you can blend in with them.
Yeah.
You can blend in with them.
And where are you from?
I'm from, what's it called again? I'm from a different country.
Oh, where are you from?
A different country.
A different country?
Yeah.
Do you don't want to say which one?
No, it's a different country. It doesn't really matter anyways.
When you say it's tight-knitted community, have they come from outside of England or is it in England? Because I hear a lot of stories, I don't know what's real.
I mean, you can see for yourself the people with different colors.
Yeah.
So you can see for yourself.
Right.
Anyways. There's many people. It's not only just it's different people with different colors.
Is it?
So there's many. This country is this part of this place is different people is over here. Different origin.
Islam is not compatible with the West. Have you heard that before?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I mean, people have different cultures. People have different religions.
Yeah.
So you have to respect everyone's religion.
Right.
You respect the West and their culture.
Yeah.
And Islam has their own culture and their way of life.
Yeah. Well, they say that there are like 40 Muslim.
What I was saying is, I wonder if they respect the religion of the land. You know what I mean? They said, we got to respect all religions. I don't see them respecting Christianity, which is the UK is the bastion of Protestantism in the entire world. So when these people arrive, they're like, you know what? We're really going to respect Christianity. Let's see if that's the case.
Muslim countries, majority countries.
Yeah.
Why are Muslims coming to the UK? I keep hearing that. What's the response to that?
Why are people coming to the UK? I mean, there's many Western people that come to the Muslim countries as well.
Yeah.
So that's okay. No problem with that. Yeah. No problem with that. That's okay. People can come here to get a job, get a life, it's a freedom country.
Right.
The government lets the Muslims come in this country, so it's not for us to say who's gonna come here or not.
Yeah.
The government is allowing the people to come in this country, so it's not for us to say who's gonna come here or
So
not.
what is the appeal for the West? Like why do Muslim people want to come to the West? What is it about the West that is great?
What's the good? I mean, there's many Western people that go to a Muslim country. What's so good about the Muslim countries?
Can you tell me about the Western people that are going to Muslim countries? Like which Muslim countries are Western people going to?
I mean, it's not for me to say like.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Are you telling me that those Americans that are like, you know what? I want to go live in Afghanistan. I want to go pick up everything and go see what the opportunities are in Iran. The economic opportunities in Iran. I'm going to go live over there. It just doesn't happen. And this is another thing. So a lot of these countries, this is just the truth. They've been interbreeding for 1,400 years. 60% of most couples, like 60% of all couples in a lot of these countries, they're first cousins. And what happens is over time, 1,400 years of interbreeding like that, it lowers IQ. So whenever you get a chance, go look up the average IQ of some of these people that are coming over here. It's insane.
It's facts.
Yeah. No, I just haven't seen that. So I'm asking you, like, which majority Muslim countries are Western people going to?
Are you against the Muslims coming to the Western countries?
No, I'm not against it. I'm reporting on both sides because, like, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to speak.
What's the big deal about this? Why are you making a topic? It's normal for everyone to come to a different country.
I'm making it topic because my responsibility as a reporter is when I see so many people having a concern.
Yeah.
I actually go to I actually go and speak to people
Muslim
about
people
it.
are very peaceful people.
Yeah.
Very peaceful people. They're very good people. We just stick to our religion. That's it.
Yeah.
We don't interfere in other people's religion, and we don't say to them, why you a Christian, why you a Jewish, why you a Buddhist, why you this, why you that.
Right.
We are very peaceful people.
Yeah.
We're very peaceful people.
Absolutely.
I came to London.
Muslims are very peaceful people. Very peaceful. And the Quran, it's also peaceful too. Muhammad, super peaceful, man. Very, very peaceful.
To better understand what's really happened here, and he just said we respect the West and their culture, and Islam has their own culture and way of life. It doesn't sound like compatibility is at the top of his priorities. Next up, I speak to a man outside a mosque. He gives me his reason for why he and so many Muslims have come to the UK. Then I actually ended up going inside this mosque and learned some things about it that I still can't believe. I'll show you after the interview.
Do you like this area, Whitechapel?
Yeah, because all our Muslim people live here.
Yeah.
And there is a mosque. We pray 5 times here.
Do you pray 5 times at this mosque or different ones?
Different mosques.
Yeah.
But when I come over here, there is a funeral every day.
There's a funeral every day?
Every day, yeah.
Why would you say that there are a lot of Muslim people in Whitechapel as opposed to other areas? Basically, why Whitechapel?
Yeah, it is what you call American way, ghetto. Because there's a facility for praying together.
There's a lot of mosques here.
Yeah, a lot of mosques. Plus, all the food.
Food.
Like
halal?
Halal, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of halal, there's a lot of mosques.
And that's why children are teaching Islamic, religion.
Oh,
religious
can the children learn Islamic things in Whitechapel?
Yeah.
Are the schools teaching
No, I have the mosque. They have facility.
Oh, at the mosque they teach these. Oh, okay. Islam is not compatible with the West. They worry about Islam. What is your response to that?
Because right wing, they're worried about any religions. Because right wing means they are very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
They want to live their white people together.
They say, why don't Muslim people stay in their Muslim countries? Why do they come to the West? What is your response to that?
Yeah, Muslim country, no democracy. Because a democracy is the main things.
Yeah.
Any human being, not a Muslim or any.
So you come for democracy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Democracy mean their law and administration is good.
So the Muslim countries are not democracies, but I'm seeing that now there are a lot of Muslims being elected into parliament in the UK. Do you think that's a good idea? Or?
Yeah, it's a good idea to elect it. Because the democracy everywhere. Look at America or Europe. Where is the democracy? They are.
In America, we have democracy.
Yeah.
What do you think of Trump?
Trump is he's an honest man, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever he said, so he didn't hide anything. He's an honest right-winger.
He's an honest right-winger.
Yeah. I do.
So just my last question, just to really understand, like there's over 40 Muslim majority countries, and like you say, they're not democracies. Why will it be different if London and the UK elects Muslim people into their government? Why will it stay a democracy?
I think only if you are educated, you know what is democracy is.
Yeah.
A Western way educated.
Yeah.
This guy just
Like, the craziest part is when I was a kid, I went to the UK, and it didn't look like that at all. But I also don't have many memories of it. But like the video of him walking through the UK, it doesn't look like a Western country at all.
just told me that he came here because Muslim-majority countries are not democracies, and that he prefers the Western way of life. The Western way of life doesn't blast a call to prayer 5 times a day. Now let's go into the mosque, see what it's like inside, and get some of our questions answered about this place.
You have to remove your shoes here. Just remove your shoes.
If you look at this building, it's huge. It covers the whole street. This giant Islamic center is connected to the mosque.
Hey, how's it going? Looking to interview people in Whitechapel. Can I ask you a question? And how many people attend this mosque, would you say?
In the Jummah to Friday, around 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
On one day?
This is the busiest mosque in the Europe.
In all of Europe?
All of Europe.
Wow, I didn't know that.
One of the busiest and one of the biggest.
Okay.
Few millions people come every year in this.
Few million per year?
Few million people.
That's awesome.
Worship.
That's great. All right, well, I appreciate it, because my point was that...
Yeah, they're not going to allow this for too long, I don't think.
Yeah. I'm just doing interviews outside.
No, I'm not going to interview. Hey,
Yeah, we're not doing it inside. We're doing it outside.
Bro, everything's on record. This is a school.
Right,
So
I know. I'm saying outside.
But you're doing it in front of the entrance.
I didn't mean to. Okay, I didn't know it was a
Do it
school.
on the other side, no
Okay,
problem.
you got
can
it.
just
I
do it on
appreciate it.
Now, the East London Mosque, the one we just went into, received an official warning from the Charity Commission after losing £1 million in an investment. The mosque put their funds into an NHS-approved supplier and lost all the money. Now, the takeaway from this story is that this mosque can lose $1 million and be completely fine. This mosque also hosted a charity fun run that was open to men, boys of all ages, but girls only under the age of 12. Adult women and older girls were explicitly excluded. Why did the UK let this in? And who's really funding it? I sat down for an exclusive interview with Tommy Robinson, who led a pro-West march in London of over 3 million people. And in it, he explains who's behind this. There's about 14 mosques in Whitechapel that I counted, about equal number of churches. Who's funding these big mosques?
Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
And
then whoever funds it dictates which form of Islam is being promoted in it. Qatar own Barclays, own Harrods, own the ports in this country. They pump free.
And I don't know if you know about this guy, Tommy Robinson, but he is like UK's most wanted man or something. Like he's been standing up against this Islamic invasion since it became really mainstream. and he's got so much flack for it. I think they've tried to like off him a few times. Like he's went to prison. Like standing up against this as a UK man, it's like they can't really do much, And we'll go over that later. There's been fathers, their children have been SA'd by grooming gangs, and they go to the police, and the police lock them up for being racist. Lock up the fathers.
£250 million into radicalisation in Europe. Qatar are a big problem. Qatar need ending, as in their influence needs ending. The influence they have over our politicians in our capital city and the money and infrastructure and the economy needs ending. The Muslim Brotherhood needs ending. Trump's just made a great move. We need to make it here. We've been crying out for this for decades. They have such influence. You're right about the influence.
The full interview will be posted after this episode, so be sure to like and subscribe to see that. Next up, I speak to a man working inside a store about his take on why Muslims are coming into the UK in droves. But before we speak to him and hear from voters explain why they chose to destroy London, I want to give you a quick warning. If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real... Back to this.
So the main thing, UK have a lot Muslim community here.
Yeah.
So UK, I might be UK have more than any other country. We have a lot mosque in UK, and a lot Muslim community apart from West here living in UK as well.
In the West,
So, and even UK support Muslim as well. Sometimes the riots and all that things happen, but
He's talking about how sometimes there's some friction with the Islamic community and what's remaining of the UK. If you go around Whitechapel, you will see flyers like this.
How to respond to the threat of the far right and protect our community.
On the flyer, the speaker has Islam in his name. It's hosted by a local Muslim activist organization called...
And literally, anybody that stands up against this is considered far right in the UK. So if you have any criticism on the invasion of tons of radical Islamicists coming into Western countries in the UK, if you're a citizen over there and you have you can get jailed for posting on social media about it and also be considered far right.
Called Palm Tree Events, and on the bottom left it writes, "The Muslim is like a palm tree," which is from their hadith. Something I also noticed when I was in London is that any protests against the right, they were always referred to as the far right. I never saw something as simple as the right. It was always far right.
Build a socialist opposition to Starmer. So this is the guy who brought everybody in, and yet they want to stop the government cuts. The benefits are not enough. And this goes on for a while.
The irony is you see flyers that also say no to racism, while Whitechapel looks like this, and it used to be a majority white city.
Do you like Whitechapel?
yeah, I like Whitechapel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you like it?
So because I'm Muslim, so it's basically a lot Muslim community here.
Yeah.
So we have mosque nearby, so it's a lot like Muslim area.
Yeah,
that's why I like this place.
Yeah.
So even this mosque has loudspeakers on as well. Nowhere else in UK there's a loudspeakers on here.
Do you
Just
hear
only
a
this
call
time.
to prayer? At
Yeah,
this
call to
mosque?
play. Yeah.
Okay.
Four
awesome.
times Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's the mosque that you attend.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
because
mosque,
your shop is right by
just
close.
opposite side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's perfect. So, and what else about Whitechapel do you like? Is the food good? Everything like this?
I'm basically from Pakistan, but that area is more Bengali community here.
He says this area is more Bengali, and boy is he right. The sign at the train station is in Bengali. Whitechapel is a borough inside of what's called Tower Hamlets, and 60% of primary school students in Tower Hamlets speak another language other than English at home, most being Bengali. 1 in 3 adults here do not have English as their main language. If you walk up to just about anyone in Whitechapel and start speaking English, you'll get interactions like this.
No English? What do you speak?
Bengali. I'm not proper English, then I'm Bengali.
Oh, you speak Bengali?
Yes.
Okay, Bengali. You speak Bengali.
This is why when I asked a police officer in London about recruitment, he said this.
Is it an increase of foreigners joining the British police?
Trying to make it as diverse as possible, because certain boroughs have different cultures. We want to encourage everyone to sort of join.
And again, I would consider that guy with his mustache to be a traitor. See, if we were to just be logical about this, let's say me, you, everybody watching, we had a little society, okay? And people started invading it, okay? We consider them invaders. Now, the people that in our little group that helped those invaders come in, we consider them traitors.
A priority for the police is to make it diverse?
In terms of dealing with the public, having cultures within the police also help.
So you would prefer to have a Muslim police officer there?
Not necessarily, but there will be times where we go to
not necessarily
calls where English is not the first language.
Yes.
So having a diverse officer with us, a part of the team.
So there's many neighborhoods around London that English is not the first language? Yes. Okay.
I was talking to Tommy about the Bengali community here, and he brought up the size of the budget that these guys actually have, and take a listen to what they wanted to do with the money.
Tower Hamlets actually fraudulently elected their own Bangladeshi mayor, who then become in charge of £1 billion budget. Now, back in 2013, we had an organisation, we were fighting to try and highlight this problem. In the end, he was ousted. They got rid of him. The government were able to remove him. But when he became in charge of £1 billion budget, his first plan was to put £1 million sculptures of headscarves at the entrance to Tower Hamlets. He took all the money away from any moderate groups and siphoned it to extremist groups. What we're witnessing across the country is not just Pakistani politics, but Islamic politics, corrupt politics.
You came from Pakistan to the UK.
Yeah.
Your parents did or you did?
No, I did, man. But
you
yeah,
did?
because I just finished my study last month.
Yeah.
So now I'm graduated. So I'm pursuing my job here.
Yeah.
I'm working here from 1.5 years.
Islam is not compatible with the West. Have you heard that stuff before? Is it just... You've heard that?
No.
What is your response to that?
No, Islam is for anyone. If
again, Islam is not compatible with the West. Has anybody ever like just looked at some of the subtext of the Quran? They adhere to something called Sharia law. Sharia, that they adhere to that over the laws of the land. Sharia law to them is more important than any democracy, any constitution, any Bill of Rights, anything. Sharia law is not compatible with the West. That's the point. That needs to be the question asked. Is Sharia law compatible with the West?
If anyone wanna, become a Muslim, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not like that. We are forcing people to come and.
The only reason they're not forcing people to become Muslim is because they aren't exactly in power. But part of Islam is forced conversion. That's one of the fundamentals of Islam, forced conversion. So the only reason that people aren't being forced converted is because they aren't in full power. But again, part of the Quran, it fully highlights that a fundamental is forced conversion.
Convert their religious. Islam is not like that. Islam teaches us if anyone willingly and want to learn Islam, it's up to him. We have a lot of people from Europe. So London is basically a tourist hub. So we have customer from France, Italy, and they're asking about Islam. We recommend some books.
Here's one of the books that's in his shop right behind me. Why Does Allah Let Bad Things Happen? And it's for kids. That's the kind of book that sells in Whitechapel, London.
I see that the Muslim community in the UK is really growing.
I think Islam is the top religious, growing in UK as well.
In the UK,
Even the Muhammad, our prophet, last prophet name, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the top name in UK. The born.
He just said it too. The top name in the UK, the top boy's name. When the most popular name of boys being born in the UK is Muhammad. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about that?
One was,
Muhammad is the top name in the UK.
Top name in
right?
UK,
And is part of that because Muslim people are encouraged to have a lot of children, right?
More children. Even we are 5 brothers.
You have
4
5
of my brothers are in Pakistan. I'm only here.
He said it himself, and it's true. Mohammed is now the #1 name in England. If you walk around Whitechapel, everywhere you turn, you see at least one Muslim woman with a child. What's interesting is how they're getting the money to do this. So I did an interview with a woman that revealed to me that she and her children are living off purely government benefits while speaking almost no English.
My English is not
What do you speak?
Bengali.
Bengali? Okay. Does the government help you with food and housing?
Yes.
Yes, they do? Yes. How long have they been helping you for?
When I come.
Oh, so they help you for 6 years?
Yes.
Oh, they've been helping you for 6 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the UK just voted to scrap the 2-child benefit cap. Now who benefits from that the most? Muslim migrants. The 26% of Muslims living in England and Wales are living in subsidized housing. 32% of Muslims live in overcrowded homes compared to that of 6% from Christians in the UK. The birth rate in the UK is 1.4 children per woman. The Muslim UK birth rate has been cited as high as 3.4. You can conquer a country like this.
Would you like to see more Muslims serving in parliament?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And would you like to see them build more mosques toward central London? Because there seems like it's growing, the Muslim population.
Yeah, if it's growing,
Yeah.
so if we don't have any space here, so yeah, we have to
Build more, right?
We have to take over.
Because it's our like playing area,
Yeah.
playing place, so
Yeah.
It's easy to think that these places are just on the outskirts of London, but look at how close central London is from here. You can see it right there. It's a 15-minute train ride. Also, when I was in London, this is what the majority of towns looked like. You can travel anywhere around London and you will see hijabs everywhere. This is what a field trip looks like in central London. This is just what you see out of the bus window when you're driving around. This is what the bus stops look like. This is what people walking out of a hotel looks like. When you come here, you will find yourself wondering if you've landed in an Arab country.
Are you worried that Sharia law could be implemented or no?
It's already here.
We have Trump in the United States. What do you think about Trump?
I've been there as well. I've been there for maybe 6 days New York and maybe might be 7 days in Texas.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Where in Texas did you go to?
Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
And we also have the big mosque there.
You have a
What's
big
the
mosque in
now?
there,
What's
yeah. And New York we have Mamdani now.
Yeah, it's good as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of people on the right in the UK that say, go back to your country. What do you like?
Nowadays, it's common here.
Yeah.
Maybe last month we'll have, rallies here for rights and all the things.
Yeah. A narrative that people say is like a lot of the Muslim people in UK are on welfare, social benefits. Is it true or?
I think so. I think so. Government provides something because I think they put asylum and all the things. So maybe after, if they got any, a paper to live here, then I think government will. Government is supporting them.
Gotcha.
The government is supporting the rise of Islam in the UK. The UK paid migrants £5 billion in just 1 year, which is over $6.5 billion to live in their country. Now, all while this invasion is happening and paid for, British citizens are left out on the streets. I saw more homeless people in London than anywhere I've ever been to. I saw more trash on the street than any city I've ever been to. People warned me not to have my phone out when I walked around London because over 100,000 phones are snatched annually. Signs are placed on the road to warn you about phone snatchers. That's what London residents now have to deal with. The Muslim community here, though, looks out for each other. They have things like Muslim Aid and the Islamic Relief Center, which has raised £200 million in a single year and operates in Gaza, Yemen, and Somalia. You walk into the Islamic Relief Center and they're playing Arabic music, selling Qurans, and you forget what country you're in. Then you walk down the block to the grocery store, and despite all these relief centers, you see this. And people are just walking by. London is unrecognizable, and now you'll see the British citizens who voted for this.
What are your thoughts on the immigration in London? Like, people call it mass immigration.
Well, we don't.
You don't? Okay. So correct that, please.
I don't know if I can. It's always happened.
Yeah.
You know, we are a nation of immigrants.
Yeah.
We are a nation of immigrants. I wonder who came up with that title. Matter of fact, I think I have a video that I might go over later on who came up with that whole moniker. We are a nation of immigrants. This guy, traitor, and he's one of the cuckolds.
Right from the Angles and Saxons.
Yeah.
And it's just, I would welcome it.
Yeah.
I would welcome it.
We're not surprised that it becomes ghettoised because when people come, they need to feel secure.
Yeah.
So they go where they know they're going to be people like them.
Yes.
So that's why it becomes ghettoised, and the powers that be need to recognise that's what happens when there's immigration.
Yeah.
And people have got to realise that the reason we've got
Why is this lady talking? Why is this guy allowing this lady to talk?
Immigration is because we
There is a few things that the Muslims do have right, you know.
colonised the world, and we've got responsibility to the people whose countries we colonised. And if that responsibility means they've now got the right to come here, that's what happens.
People saying like Islam is not compatible with the West.
Too bad.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
You just have to live together.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
You rub shoulders together. You get along.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't?
I mean, it's basically the right that are building up that hatred between people. It's happened in waves throughout all our lives. We've seen it happen before, and it's happening again, and it's just horrible. And we had a brief time when it was illegal for anybody to express a hate crime, and then and Britain was such a much better place for it. And now it's all coming back that since Brexit, people are feeling they've got the right to, freedom of speech, which is rubbish because you haven't got the freedom of speech to express hatred. So, it's just one of those things that comes in waves, and we just hope that this awful wave passes.
People saying it's getting more dangerous. Is that true or no?
Well, I don't
that
know.
London is getting more dangerous.
Are you safe walking up and down here?
Yeah.
In a Muslim area, you feel safe because you know they're not going to. Well, obviously there's some people that do.
Yeah.
But you feel safe because you know that their religion would be really against them mugging you or stealing from you.
Not true. Not true. Read the Quran. That is not true. If they steal from each other, that's a problem. But what she's saying is completely delusional.
Right.
So you feel safe. But obviously, there's a minority that, it's a terrorist minority.
Can I ask, where are you from in America?
Oh, I'm from New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you see New York? Well, you got a new mayor.
We have a new mayor,
Yeah.
Young
Did you vote for him?
Young people really like him. I did not vote for Mamdani because I worry about socialism. I mean, are you for it? Because I honestly, I'm open to having a conversation.
Lots of Americans are frightened of socialism. I think it's really...
but it's getting more popular. So.
I think it's deep-seated.
Yeah, maybe.
I just thought that Americans are brainwashed into thinking that socialism is bad.
I then asked them about the crime here in Whitechapel, referencing how in the States we hear that it's not safe here. This is what she had to say.
People say that in the States. They are saying...
Oh no, that was complete propaganda. Trumpian
They're saying
propaganda. It was all rubbish. We knew it was Trumpian propaganda. Because Sadiq Khan is the mayor of London, and he's a lefty, and Trump hates him because he's a Muslim and he's lefty, and he gave us all this rubbish that it was all kicking off in London, and everybody went, we don't live there anymore, but all the Londoners were going, what's going on? It was complete and absolute propaganda.
I had a similar conversation with a woman at a Palestine protest where I asked her if she would be okay with London being 90% Muslim. Take a listen.
So would you be okay with London being 90% Muslim?
If it happened, yes.
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
And
it might be better than having a load of fascists.
Yes. And what do you think about Sharia law?
Who?
What do you think about Sharia law?
It's not my business. I'm not a Muslim.
It would become your business if London becomes 90% Muslim.
Well, I shall respect them.
You'll respect Sharia law?
I respect other people's beliefs.
But will you respect Sharia law? Will you live in a city governed by Sharia law?
Need it, wouldn't I? Of being
Would
a
you
Muslim.
want to live in a city where it's okay to beat up your wife?
I choose where I live, so I wouldn't live there.
Have you ever been to Whitechapel or Bethnal Green?
I have.
What do you think about Whitechapel?
I can't think now because I live away from London. I haven't lived in London for years.
I did a full investigation into the Sharia law that already exists here in London, whether or not these Muslim migrants are citizens, and what kind of future the UK has now. That episode is coming out after the full Tommy Robinson interview. Make no mistake, the West is under a...
Okay, you get the point. We got another one. Coming up. Let's check out this one. Got another guy investigating the UK's shocking rise of Islam. Let's see how this starts. Let's go from right about. Let's see.
Is necessary for the UK.
It's necessary for all the world. Really good Sharia law.
What's the difference between someone like you and a radical Muslim? I like pork and I'm gonna eat pork probably forever, man.
Don't say forever, you never know.
Violent, radical white supremacists face off with radical Islamist jihadis. It's not Europe anymore.
This is the UK, home to one of Europe's largest Muslim populations. In this video, I take you to UK's two biggest cities, London and Birmingham, to show you what the rise of Islam in Europe looks like. I speak with locals, both Muslims and non-Muslims, to get their feedback and see how they feel about the undeniable demographic, religious, and political changes in the country.
But what's happening now is a takeover. This is the end.
Islam, I think, is going to grow. It's going to grow and get stronger.
So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I say, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
As of the latest 2021 UK census, the total Muslim population was 3.9 million, which is about 6.5% of the population. But in certain places in the UK, the Muslim population is well over 80% and only growing at unprecedented rates. By 2050, 1 in 5 people are expected to be Muslim. While the UK is still a majority Christian country, the number of people actually practicing is on a massive decline, as 4 out of 10 people define themselves as having no religion.
What alarms people in a Christian nation like England, or what was a Christian nation like England, is when you see churches that are becoming mosques.
It's not against Islam or Muslims. It's against who is letting them our daughters today.
And what makes this rise of Islam scary is the number of documented cases of radical Islam in the UK in recent years.
But on the flip side, there are many ex-Muslims who are leaving Islam.
Some say that moderate Muslims act as the grass that hides the snake. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the United Kingdom and many parts of Europe.
And let me shout out this guy's channel. It's Adventure Elliot. I like this one better. This is a little bit more comprehensive than the one we just watched. I am watching these for the first time with you guys. So just again, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm learning a lot. As long, if you're watching with me, we're both learning. This isn't the first time I've heard about this, but I don't really have the time to be sitting around and watching these documentaries like that. I spend my time doing a lot of other stuff, being a business owner. And, I have a very limited amount of time, so I'm doing my best to fit all this stuff in. But yeah, let's watch this together, man.
And Christianity is on a sharp decline. Many of these places, like you see behind me, churches in places like London and Birmingham, Bradford, etc., are disappearing while mosques are sprouting up. So I've decided to come here and investigate the growth and rapid rise of Islam. So if you're a Christian, maybe this will wake you up and help you understand what's going on. And if you're a Muslim, this actually might make you proud. And if I make any mistakes, please do forgive me. I do believe that doing this with communication, honest interviews, talking to people directly is a good way to respect both sides and find out the truth. So let's go around the UK and investigate the rise of Islam. If Sharia law actually becomes more of a thing, that could affect you because they see you. They don't like.
Of course. Realistically, I don't think Sharia law is going to take place in the UK. This country is a Christian country or secular, either one of the other. People are unrealistic. When these people see all these immigrants coming, they think, oh, Islam's going to take over. Sharia law is going to come in place. It's not going to happen. The people that are coming here, they're only coming here for a safer life, to provide for their children. They're not trying to take over. You get what I mean?
What does it mean to be part of the Muslim community in the United States and New York, and also what you've seen here in the...
I think a lot of them are coming to take over. I think it's part of their doctrine, for real. It's like, if you go throughout history and you look about Islam, that's what part of the religion is to colonize. So these people are delusional because they're not using logic. You know what I mean? They're not tracking it all the way through. If we allow this to happen, it's not going to get nothing's going to get better. I promise. I mean, this is just history repeating itself.
The UK, because it's very big, it's growing. How does it feel and what does it mean for you?
Feeling much better here. United States also. That's the London mosque. Yeah.
So does the Muslim community here feel stronger in the UK than in the United States?
I think here, yes. Yeah.
What are some things you want non-Muslims to know about your community?
Actually,
Yo, pause on that popsicle there. Pause on that pop. Look at this guy in the. Yeah, I'm not eating a popsicle like that on camera. That's crazy.
Muslim know the community now. They know, Muslim community. So now they join, for the Muslim community. Yeah. United is the same. Yeah.
Yeah, Islam is peace. Most of the peace and truth. The universal. This is the Islam, isn't it? No one can force you. They believe is the one God, the right choice and human rights, everything. Then they go to Islam.
What does it mean to be part of the Muslim community in the UK?
UK Muslim community is very tight-knit, especially in the London area. Obviously, it's growing everywhere, even outside of London. It's a very diverse community here because it's not just specific to one ethnic community here.
So why do you think Islam is the fastest growing community in the UK?
Well, nowadays, because of technology, it's growing in huge numbers because of the social media. We are able to actually get the knowledge right in front of our hands nowadays, so it's very easier to understand and find out what you need to diverse yourself from the facts from the non-facts.
Do you think one day Islam will overtake Christianity or non-religious people here in the UK?
No, I would not say that because Islam is growing, but there are people of other religions as well. That's why UK is UK, because we can accept all sorts of religions. And even in Islam, there's an ayah in the Quran specifically saying your religion is yours and you can also practice other people's religions as well. It's not a compulsory that you have to be in this path of Islam.
She's lying. She's completely lying. She's just, she's completely lying. I wonder if the Ayatollah believe what she's believing or saying. I wonder if the hard practicing Muslims agree with her, that you can practice other religions as a Muslim.
So I would not say that it's only just Islam against the world. Whoever wants to come to Islam, more than happy to, but do your own research and come not because of compulsion, but because of your own will.
The most important thing is, Elliot, that we must understand this is the end. I'm not an idiot. I lived 12 years in Iran and I know about Islam. Persian people are not Islamic. They have the religion there, but they're not the mindset of the Arab nations and Pakistan, these kinds of Islamists. But what's happening now is a takeover. If you walk up here and you see a young British girl, you might see her with a t-shirt and shorts. Well, that was normal for us. When they look at you, filth, destroy, filth, lies. You've got to do what he tells you. And they look on us as something to be just got rid of. But the mentality is the evil, very evil. We've recently got 4 mosques in Dover while they're pulling down churches. This is not going to get any better. Not in your country, not in my country, not anywhere in the world. This is the beginning of the end.
Have you seen a rise recently in hostility or aggression?
And I agree with her. I would agree with her. I would say because of weak Christianity, weak modern Christianity, because of the misinterpretation and the people self-interpreting the Bible and, things like turn the other cheek. And, Christianity was never a pacifist religion until now. And because of that, this is going to happen and continue to happen.
Or what they call Islamophobia here in the UK and media in the United States or elsewhere?
Look, bad people are everywhere. My name is Mohammed Sabir Ahmed. So obviously wherever I go, I get stopped by immigrations, especially if I go to US, Canada. It doesn't really matter to me anyway, but I am not a terrorist. I'm a very good Muslim. Always try to follow and help people, whoever they are, regardless of Christianity or other Jewish or whoever. I worked in government officials and government places and never had any trouble with anybody. Bad people are everywhere. Those who doesn't have knowledge.
I would ask him what he thinks about the radical Islamicists like in Nigeria that are murdering all the Christians. You know what I mean? I went over it yesterday. Christianity has always been the most persecuted religion in history, and and throughout the globe, it's being persecuted right now. There are Christians being dog walked through the streets with chains on and literally decapitated. The worst things that are happening to Christians globally and nobody really talks about it. I mean, Nicki Minaj actually went to the White House to kind of highlight this, and they called her all types of things. But again, Christians are completely persecuted. And I'd like to ask a guy like him: are the Muslims that are doing this in Nigeria to the Christians, are they good Muslims or are they bad Muslims?
Of history, religion, they're the one who is actually causing trouble. It's not only from Christianity, it's also happening in Muslim world as well.
Many people see Sharia law and they get scared or they don't understand. So here in London in particular, what does Sharia law councils mean?
Sharia law council is people who follow Islam, especially if you get married, for example, how Islam give more privilege to women. I'm a lawyer myself. When they come out of their property transactions and distribution, here in traditional way, in common law practice, you have to wait long time to distribute their assets, and their women and children are actually fall into limbo. Sometimes they want to follow the Sharia law in a sense. They don't want to change the whole legal system in the UK. What I learned from the UK is equality and diversity. So here, UK is giving the freedom of religion and freedom of expression. So if someone wants to practice Sharia law, I don't see any problem on that. But Sharia law obviously not contradicting with Human Rights Act anyway. If anybody want to follow that, I think why not? They have option to follow that. I mean, the government are giving the privilege. UK is helping, so I don't see any problem on that.
So we met that woman who lived in New York for years, and you can just tell the difference is that people from the United States are much more likely to give their opinion, share their feelings, be open-minded, and be on camera versus someone from here in London. I can tell you, I've been making videos for the last 3 or 4 days. It is extremely difficult to get people to open up here.
I'm a Muslim. I used to go mosque, but I don't go there that much. I don't know, I started drinking and everything. I don't practice that much, but I'm a Muslim. But everything, Muslims who don't like America, I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
Sure.
I do feel sorry for Palestine.
Me too.
Yeah, brother, they're suffering. Young children, hungry and everything.
100%. There's many good Muslims, and they don't impose their culture on anyone.
No.
But there's people who are really trying hard to convert people here. Why do you think that is? If this is a Christian country?
Yeah, I was thinking the same. This is a Christian country. Why they doing that for?
I have a different spin on that. I have a different spin completely. I think that a radical, what you would consider a radical Muslim, somebody that is, into Sharia law and jihad, a fundamentalist, I feel like that is a good Muslim following the Quran. And I think that these people that are, middle ground, that are following it just culturally and picking and choosing what parts they want to adhere to in the Quran, I don't think that they're the good Muslims. You get what I'm trying to say? The same way as I don't think a good Christian is somebody that picks and chooses what the Bible says. I think a good Christian adheres to the pure fundamentals of it. You know what I mean? Regardless of what people say or how offensive it might be or whatever, I feel like that's a good Christian. A bad Christian, in my opinion, would be more of a cultural Christian that says they're Christian on the, goes to church on Sundays, but doesn't really adhere to it. Doesn't speak up against degeneracy. Who am I to judge? These kind of people, I don't consider them good Christians. So that's just me.
Yeah, they are Muslim, brother. Most of them are criminals. They don't care about Islam. They just want to go, use the religion of Islam. Terrorism is against Islam. Suicide is against Islam as well. The true religion. I don't mix with the kind
That's not true. What he's saying is not true. Go look up the life of Muhammad. Go look up what Muhammad did in the Quran and tell me that terrorism is against Islam.
People, these jihadis, whatever they call them.
So here in Marble Arch, we have more preachers. I've been seeing this all over London. Religion is so present around here. And while there's lots of tourists, I kind of find it interesting how we have Muslims on one corner and Christians on the other. And behind me on my right, we have the doctors and engineers selling their substances. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the UK. Why do you think that is?
Because we've been lazy, we've been asleep. We got to wake up, we have to repent, turn again to Jesus.
Islam is very compelling. Once upon a time, I was indoctrinated with Islam, and I'm still a man of science. There are so many scientific synchronicities that I'm unable to explain. But one thing I will say is I don't trust anything that was created by a man, especially something that's that wasn't actually written by a man, something that's taken from accounts of people. So whether it's the Torah, whether it's the Bible, I question everything. I don't know how I feel in a year's time. I don't know how I feel in a day's time. But right now, I'm questioning everything. And I do see there are certain cultural synchronicities with the bad behavior that's being imported into this country. And I know that because I'm English, I'm Jamaican, I'm Algerian, I'm sub-Saharan Africa. So in saying that, I'm somebody who has a very diverse family. I really understand so many perspectives that clash heavily. And within that, the only truth I can find is that they're probably all bullshit. Islam is on the rise because the Quran is very, very compelling. It's extremely compelling. The language is extremely emotive. And one thing, there's a lot of repetition. And I'm a man of science. And I know that if you repeat something over and over again, you will believe it. And that's just the fact. That's just how it goes.
They bring this to our doors. Who bring it? They came here because this government allowed them to be here to rape our daughters. It's not them. It's government. Simple as that. It's no religion, no color, no race. It's this government who's allowing. It's this bullshit. It's a religion game. It's a hate game. It's against Islam. No, it's not against Islam or Muslims. It's against who is letting them our daughters today. Today, the police is protecting them, not our daughters. This happening just opposite.
That's it.
I am not happy with that. These traitors are paid to protect your kids, your daughters, your families, but today they are protecting these criminals.
So Islam's the fastest growing religion in the UK. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's not through conversion, in my point of view. It's through having loads of children.
Immigration, and then
Like, for real, like, there's people that you know, I don't know, they don't have, like, they don't let their empathy override their logic. And if that happens, it's okay to be empathetic to a degree, but if you let your empathy override your logic, this is the stuff that will happen. And again, a lot of these are hard truths, but, you know, just look at history. Just truly just take history into perspective and think, if you think that this is going to turn out good, why hasn't it ever turned out good in history?
second generation.
And then breeding.
But British people...
And they do it in other countries as well.
But British people aren't having children?
No, not that many, no.
Is there a low birth rate for English?
Designed by our government.
Okay.
All been designed. Higher taxes, we can't afford nothing.
But families, Muslim families can have 4 or 5 kids. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, mate.
Because
Honestly,
the government pays for it.
I don't know. Some favoritism. I don't know. Government, I don't know.
And
I think
they're
it's the benefit
religious.
system, the welfare state. That's personally...
No, they're incentivized by their book, by the Quran, to have as many kids as possible. That's why they are outpacing pretty much everybody when it comes to population collapse. Like, truly, like in westernized countries, you know, these Christian women that are so Christian, they're not having children, but yet the fundamental Islamicists, they're having all the children.
My view, 2 of my sisters are Muslim.
Are they converts?
They're converts, yeah.
Why would someone want to leave Christianity and go to Islam?
No, I asked my sisters the same thing.
So I'm an Orthodox Christian myself. I think what alarms people in a Christian nation like England, or what was a Christian nation like England, is when you see churches
I like this guy.
that are becoming mosques. Christianity is a dying religion, but we've got to remember that this country, it was Christianity that brought this country up. It's quite alarming to see a lot of people come here and not abide by the way we do, in the sense that, yes, we do have very conflicting views, and people would categorise this group that I'm stood in here as far right. I would not put us down as far right. I think what people would stand up for, like today, is the fact that we've got veterans on our streets that are homeless, but yet we're giving illegal people free meals, accommodation, bus passes, access into all of our museums. But then again, the people that fought for this country are on the streets. They're starving, they're freezing. Winters get cold here. We don't do anything for these people. It's people have been let down.
We're here at the Speaker's Corner, where free speech started, and of course went to the...
And this is the only reason I would ever want to go to the UK is to go to the Speaker's Corner. This is when where a lot of religious and all the debates happen. And if you ever want to see, you know, Muslims get absolutely decimated when it comes to religious debates, Speaker's Corner is where that happens a lot. And, that's what I like to watch the apologists go head to head just to see who's right in this. When you apply the information versus information, what are you taking away from it? And Christians tend to absolutely decimate
the United States. But as I keep saying, London is heating up. London is full of debates and different preachers on different corners. The things you see here are absolutely insane.
You're fine with sin. Yes, I am. You're a lying bastard. Why do you rely on lies, Steve? Just walked in. Is your message so weak you have to lie? Islam's no better, believe me. Coming from you, that's a compliment. In fact, it might be said it's a whole lot worse. Islam is a way. It's the way. Islam is the way. Hello. Islam is the fastest. That was good, guys. Good. You get the ring. Hello. I love my country law. I don't like your Jesus law. I love my English law, not your Jesus law.
What does it mean to be a Muslim woman, and why do you like that as opposed to a Christian?
It's a very empowering religion for women. I feel very independent. I know my worth. The Muslim community, the women are very, very important figures in Islam. We're mothers, we're daughters, and we.
But let's say you were to cheat on your husband. If you were in Iran and this woman was to cheat on her husband, what do you think would happen? You think it would be like the same thing in America where, it's like, you go girl, live your truth? Do you think that's what's going to happen? Or are you going to be stoned to death? You know what I mean? Women can't drive around cars. They can't go in the mosques the same way. They don't have the same rights in some of these countries. They're not allowed to walk down the street unless there is a man with them. The idea that she's Islam is empowering, it's only because she's saying this in the UK. But if you were to go to Iran, there's a lot of women that are completely fighting back. And then there's women that are completely silent because they're too scared of getting slapped in the face, because in Sharia law, it's not bad to beat your wife.
We're students. Education is a must in Islam, and also marriage. Women are very important. They're very taken care of. When a woman says no, she's not forced to. And as for money and being with a husband, her money is her own money, and their money, the husband's money, is both of their money. So the woman is always taken care of by the husband. The husband's always provided for.
Do you think it varies with each country?
It's not because of our religion, it's because of people's culture. Like Afghanistan, and Muslim women are not forced to cover their faces. They're being forced by their husbands because of their culture, not because of the religion.
Not true. There are videos of uncovered women getting beaten by other women in the streets in some of these countries, getting spat on by men for not covering their heads. So it's not their husbands. There's single women that have no husbands uncovering their heads and getting absolutely harassed for it. So again, she's completely deluded.
In the religion, this is wrong, and this is a sin.
Pues, ¿cómo te hace sentir aquí en Londres y por tus viajes haber visto tantas mujeres tapadas por el tema de Islam?
Bueno, la primera vez que vi a una mujer toda tapada, que tenía la cara y los ojos todo tapados, sentada en un aeropuerto al lado del esposo, me puse a llorar. O sea, para mí eso no existe y no puede existir en ningún lado. Me parece algo realmente horrible, me parece violento, es violencia contra el cuerpo de la mujer.
¿Crees que si esto expande por el mundo occidental?
And her wearing a shirt like that, if she was to wear a shirt like that and walk down those streets you just seen, there would be a major reaction. It's called haram. It's called haram, and she'd be most likely harassed for even dressing like this.
Es decir, el mundo cristiano, ¿cómo te haría sentir?
No, yo me bajo del mundo. No me voy del mundo. Me muero. O sea, yo no podría vivir así. Me parece que es inaceptable.
For women to understand, what is the use of the hijab and the burqa?
Basically, the reason behind it is just to protect the woman. A woman is a precious body. Woman as a whole is precious. So that's why in Islam, especially in the Quran, is told us to guard ourselves so that we are protected from other non-family members, which is the main reason behind Islam, so that we were protected and that we don't have to materialize ourselves. Where nowadays everything is all about being materialistic and just showing off to the world. So it's better just be simple and still you can represent yourself.
Christians, majority of the Christians, they have left the Christianity, and Christianity is no longer present, but Islam is present, and Islam is practical. People, they're praying 5 times a day, where the Christians, they'll go to church once a week. They practice Islam in a daily life, in everything, in business, in relationships. Islam is present and is visible, and it's the truth. Islam is the truth. Christianity is no longer.
I mean, he is right about that. That Christianity, with Protestantism, is definitely becoming more and more watered down throughout time. So he is right about that. That Muslims, they do worship much harder than cultural Christians do, but that's not to say that Christians as a whole, there are Orthodox countries where these people devote their entire life to the faith. And again, as Christians, I believe that that's how it's supposed to be. Basically, in the Western countries, we have kind of a fast food version of Christianity, a very modern incarnation, convenient to your daily life Christianity, when that's not how it originally was intended. That's not how it was originally practiced at all. So he is right about Christianity, modern Christianity dying, but that's not to say that traditional Christianity isn't rising.
Visible Christians have less Christianity, and the majority of the British people, they are good people. The British society is good society. I cannot complain much. I cannot say much.
The true Muslim men practice polygamy?
Polygamy is allowed in Islam. You can marry more than one woman, and that's the same in the Bible. Abraham had more than one wife.
That is not true. That's not true at all. That is not true. You're talking about something completely different. You're talking about in Christianity, polygamy is not pushed. That's a lie.
Jocheb had more than one wife. Solomon had 1,000 women, 700 wives, and 300 concubines in the Bible. So it's no different from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And the Old Testament and Islam is very similar, and it allows more than one wife, but maximum you can marry 4 women if you can be just. If you cannot be just and you cannot take care of all of them, then you have to marry one.
Number one, the big one, is the biology bomb, as I call it. Muslim families are more in number than traditional English white families, for example, in England. Same thing in Scotland.
Same with the black community, right?
Well, the black community, they have more children than white communities. But nonetheless, there's a depopulation happening throughout the whole spectrum. Muslims, they have one wife, normal children, but they also have what I call 3 girlfriends, because you're allowed to have 4 women for 1 man.
The Muslims will say that they're allowed to have multiple wives as long as each one is taken care of equally.
That's why I wrote this book. Okay? To debunk that.
Islam continues to grow. Would it eventually overtake Christianity in the UK?
In numbers, probably not, because you see, God knows what is happening. None of this takes him by surprise. So even though on the surface, Islam is growing, but on the flip side, there are many ex-Muslims who are leaving Islam because they're here in the West, and they can investigate like books like these, find out for themselves. Hang on, I was trapped in a very demonic philosophy, so I'm going to switch. Now, they are hunted down by the other Muslims because they're not allowed to be an apostate.
That is true. He's touching on something that is definitely real, meaning that if you are a Muslim, it's not very easy to leave the faith. Part of the Quran is you can actually off somebody leaving the faith, and also somebody that, like, if a Christian helped you leave the faith, you know what I mean, like a Christian started showing you the Bible and then you left the faith and became a Christian, that Christian can also be, you know what I mean, it's true. And a lot of people, maybe they've never heard this stuff, maybe they're just too busy with video games or watching their sports matches or whatever, but this is all true. And that's why I implore you men, man, level up, man. Start checking out religion, ideology, start asking, where does morality come from,
death sentence occurs. And this is happening in secret in Britain. So on the surface, Islam is growing Sharia courts, for example, parallel to the British Constitution. Another phenomenon like health food being sold in shops designed to only have Muslims as customers, but we as non-Muslims have been forced to eat Islamic food. For example, you're a patient in a hospital in England. You may not know this, but the hospitals have a budget, and that budget does not cater for the 95% of the population who are not Muslims. So they say, oh, everybody's going to eat Islamic food, whether you like it or not. And they won't tell you unless you ask. Rugby stadiums, they do the same thing. Kentucky Fried Chicken, which was started by a Christian, Colonel Saunders.
So if Islam continues to grow, do you think eventually there would be some sort of conflict between Muslims and non-Muslims? Could it get to that point here in the UK?
It's really happening. It's really happening in the sense of people are now protesting about the infiltration of government by Muslims. For example, there are 6 MPs in Parliament right down there, right, Parliament building. And they're only representing Islamic interests in the north of England. So you ask, what agenda do they have for the rest of the country? Because they're not going to tell you, because now they're part and parcel of the ruling government. Why are you trying to concentrate on this power? What is it going to be used for? When Muslims are in the minority, they complain about human rights to themselves. Fine. When they become the majority, they take away human rights, freedoms, everybody else.
So what communities would be most at risk if that were to happen? For example, gays, women, etc.
Look at the grooming gangs in the northeast of England. You had Muslim gangs raping, grooming white.
That's been a major problem in the UK. Tons and tons and tons of young Christian girls and women have been essayed by gangs and gangs of men. So again, this is, just track the logic. You know what I mean? They consider these women haram, kafir, and it's not the same thing as essaying a good Muslim woman. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, in their belief system, it's not like the same crime. It's not as criminal. You know what I mean? It's not as criminal. So they believe that a lot of these women are already, simply by dressing like this or not having their head covered, that they're already kind of apt to have this done to them. So, I think that whenever you get a chance, go look up the grooming gangs. Just look up, grooming gangs in the UK. You'll be appalled. And then you'll also be appalled by the fact that some fathers of these girls have tried to stand up to the government, and they get arrested and called racist and they get locked up for trying to stop it from happening to the next young girl.
Girls. And they got away with it because the powers that be, police, social services, they could not believe that the girls. That could be replicated in other parts of Great Britain, and people say, no way. There's also the problem of people coming from Calais or Dunkirk as migrants who are illegally here. And they're fueling this debate so that you have conditions in society which are reminiscent of a revolution like in 1917 in Russia. And you know what happened next? The Bolsheviks came in, communism eradicated all the human rights. So Britain is at the epicenter of problems which need to be sorted out passionately, clearly, and justly, and not just to be saying, oh, you hate Muslims. No. We want protection for a Jewish Christian heritage in this great country. And that can only start when people are educated of things that they're losing. Simple as that. Cambridge, Oxford, Edinburgh, St. Andrews, these were all started by Christians. And the Bible was number one. Everything else in physics, chemistry, biology followed. And we've benefited from that. But today, you get PLO flags and people going, we hate the Jews, blah, blah, blah. I got the same anti-Semitic rubbish when I went to Scotland recently, and I went to buy some food, an Indian takeaway. The guy took my money. He says, wait here, sir. And I waited. My food comes up, and the guy says, I cannot give you the food. I'm going, why not? He says, you got a hat there supporting Israel. I said, you're being very anti-Semitic. I've already paid for it legally, and yet you're denying me my order to be fulfilled. And he says, I don't care. So if that can happen to me, those things are happening to other people as well.
Is the UK doomed?
No, only God can doom a nation. Look at what happened to Nineveh when they repented under Jonah's ministry. Jonah didn't want to go because he says, God is compassionate. I'm going to go the other way.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
After a few days in London, I decided to head up to Birmingham to see what another city was like. And oh my God, I was absolutely shocked at how non-English this city felt. I know the city has been multicultural for decades, and I mean no disrespect to the locals, but I was absolutely appalled by the state of this city. The first thing I learned was that just like London, there are certain areas where almost 90% of the population is Muslim and completely feels like a different country. But the difference is that here there are hardly any tourists like you find in London. The city doesn't feel safe, which I show in a different video. I also learned that there was a mosque which was named after Saddam Hussein and was built by donations sent by him. The mosque had to change its name for obvious reasons. While exploring the city center, I ran into this man handing out the Quran and actively trying to convert people. You'll see this quite often in the UK, and it's much more aggressive than any place I've seen in Europe.
Hello, sir. I wonder what they're going to say about this.
Down from the sky, rain.
What is your purpose here? Is this your job?
No, just to convey the message. I'm giving everything free. Would you like to have one?
No, I'm okay, but it's curious to see you here.
Upon him, Jesus is alive, he's coming back, so you don't need to say peace be upon him. And that Christ is not the same Christ in the Bible, that's a different man. And if you understand the Bible, you understand that.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're welcome, my sister. You want a pocket size?
English translation.
English one. You Muslim, sister?
Inshallah, soon.
What's stopping you? We are on the internet. What's stopping you coming to Islam?
I want to study more and more and more.
Why do you think Islam is the fastest growing religion in the UK?
Because these people have been taken for a ride over 2,000 years from the church, because it's a multi-billion pound business. So they want to keep that cult. You know, average man realize, I'm going to go back to the one who created me.
Were you here in 2001?
Yes.
You were here when 9/11 happened. The Muslim community, of course, faced a lot of backlash. The words like radical, jihadist, those words were starting to become used freely and get passed around. What's the difference between someone like you and a radical Muslim? Because there's people who are worried about that. What's the difference?
If you watch the documentary, it was inside job. You know that, I know that.
I mean, that's, I guess, just denying all the, like, let's just say 9/11 had, let's say it was, let's not comment on 9/11. It's more or less like extrapolate it and look at all of the terrorism that's been caused. I mean, right now in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, a lot of these Middle Eastern countries, they chant death to America. You know, first the Saturday people, then the Sunday people. They have a plan. They definitely have a plan, and this plan has been being enacted for thousands of years. Like, for thousands of years. I mean, the Ottomans would go to Christian lands and kidnap Christians and enslave them. Now, was that a regular thing that Christians did? Did Christians historically kidnap Muslims and enslave them? If you look up the history of what caused even the first Crusades, the Crusades were a defensive war. This is all stuff that they've kind of spun. There's been a psyop to all of this. But what about the Crusades when you bring up Christianity? The Crusades were not only a defensive war. If it wasn't for the Crusades, we'd all be forced Muslim right now. We'd have no choice. So don't let the popular narratives win. Just crack a book. All of this can be seen now, just like it could be seen before.
Every average man you'll see, they know it was inside job. Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with Islam, just to go for the oil. Okay. And they got it.
What would you have to say to someone who says this is a Christian nation, respect our Christian values?
There's no such a thing as Christian in the Bible. There's no word of Christian in the Bible. Do you know that? Jesus said in the Bible, don't eat pork. I don't eat pork. Jesus said, don't go in the piss up. I don't do it. Jesus was circumcised on the 8th day. Every Muslim is circumcised, not the Christian. When you read Bible, Jesus used to pray exactly like Muslim pray, all the way to the ground. So who follow Jesus? You or me?
Last question.
Do you eat pork?
Yes, I do eat pork.
If I prove it to you from the Bible, you don't have to eat pork.
Well, I like pork, and I'm gonna eat pork probably forever, man. It's just what it is. And
Don't say forever. You never know.
I never know, but I like pork.
If you stand with me full day, you will see like you see that white girl now. She said, I'm not ready, but I will come to Islam. In front of you. Imagine.
Yeah.
You know, the youngsters, you can't take them for a ride because they took them for a ride for over 2,000 years. And this is not a Christian country anyway. This is modest country.
If Muslims have majority of the population, they'll implement Sharia law. What does that mean? Is that a myth?
No, Sharia law is not like that. If you somebody, you've been in the prison for 5 years, and the same person come out again, you can see on the documentary, he will commit that same thing again. In Islam, we got really good Sharia law. You know, these people who commit crimes like that, we won't have that.
So you think having a stronger system like Sharia law is necessary for the UK?
It's necessary for all the world, even the Red Indians in America. It's the only way.
I've never heard that before, but that's...
This is it's the way it makes sense.
It's the
What
only
do you
way.
think of the people that are
Sharia
speaking
law, it's the
Oh,
against
only way.
Islam? People are saying Islam is growing and it shouldn't be in England. Do you have a message for those people?
Yeah, because this religion, as we believe, our last messenger said, will go to every mud houses, and the king will say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. I bear witness there's only one creator. And do you know, they've been keep questioning the king now. Are you a Muslim?
King Charles, yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah, some people think he's converted.
Well, it's good for him. Because after a while, maybe in our lifetime,
That would be hilarious if King Charles converted to Islam. That would just, is that a meme? Is that like a, if I told you that, would you be like, oh, is that a meme or is he telling the truth?
you'll see many Muslims.
All right, so thank you to Tahir, the manager of media, who's granted us access to the mosque. Very, very friendly, very, very welcoming, and they've allowed us to come here and learn more about their community. In the United Kingdom right now, a lot of new immigrants have come in, a lot of them from Muslim countries.
Some kind of group in projecting the correct image and to educate people. If they accept it, is maybe that's a bit radical, you know.
Sorry about that. My bad. So yeah, now we're done this, and that's why it's called Cuckhold Colonization. You know what I mean? It's modern Christianity has bred this softness, and that turn the other cheek type idea. You know, they just turn the other cheek and spank that other cheek, and here take my daughter and let me sit in the corner and destroy my God, take my land. And you know what? Like that's what this has bred. Modern Christianity has bred this and allowed this to happen. You know, it's like you look at the UK, which is like a Protestant bastion of the world, and then you look at places, there's like Orthodox countries, there's like, there's traditional Christian countries that don't allow this to happen. They just don't. Like, this isn't, you're not going to see this happening in these countries. You're just not. And that, I think that's the difference, because they worship two different religions, So I got some other things to go on. Let's go check out some stuff that I found on Instagram. Let's see. All right. And I hope you guys are ready, because some of this stuff is a little bit more intense. Oh, I apologize. Sorry about that. Let me see where that went. Here we go. Yeah, so So we are we're gonna cover some stuff on IG. Let's go.
January and February, in 59 days, there was 1,435 rapes reported in London. And that's,
in London.
that's reported. So you could probably double that or even more multiples of it because a lot of people won't.
That's it. The sexual assault.
So it says right now the sexual assault and rape numbers have gone up 400%. In 59 days, there were 1,459 grapes reported that we know who the main predators are. London is now officially the grape capital of Europe. Continued silence from the legacy media, politicians, and the liberal left.
The sexual assault and rape numbers have gone up by 400%. So when Sadiq Khan talks about, oh, it's the safest city in the country, it's outrageous. We know that there are rape gangs operating in London. We know that there's trafficking. We know all of these things, and we know who the predators are. Mainly, in 59 days. Across January and February, in 59 days, there was 1,435 rapes reported in London.
And that's reported. So you could probably double that or even more multiples of it because a lot of people won't.
That's it. The sexual assault and rape numbers have gone up by 400%.
All right, you get the point. You get the point. That's crazy. That's insane. What else we got? Oh, this is the difference. Shout out to Poland. You know what I mean? We all love Poland. You know, I would love America to be more like Poland. So let's see what's happening in Poland.
We want to go Poland, but they don't let us. They said if I go to Poland, they will hit me or they will kill me.
Why do you believe that is? That it's so safe even at nighttime?
I don't know, maybe not a lot of immigrants from third world countries.
Really?
We don't need your doctors. We don't need your engineers. Take them all and pay for them.
Our country don't entry immigrants.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that.
A multicultural society, it's not a value. Most terrorists are Muslims. Zero illegal migration equals zero terror attacks. The safest place in Europe.
I mean, can you beat the logic? Is there anything that can trump that? If you have zero illegal immigration, the high chance of the chances of terrorism, I would say, it goes down precipitously.
That's very simple. That's a common sense. That's nothing unusual for us, for Polish, to be brave, to believe in our own nation, to love our families, to take care about our families and our country, and then think about someone else. 123 years, non-existence on the map, and our nation survived. Not only that, in the same month, Russians attacked, and we were occupied after the war for 70 years by the Soviets. So we had to, once we freed our nation from the communism, we knew what the freedom is. We understood much better than others what it means to give up your freedom, to give up your land, to give up your culture. And now we are so homogenic society. We love it. We love our culture. We love our language. We love our food. We love our family values.
We will not rape you. We will not beat you.
Okay. How do you feel about Poland?
I'm good. I'm fine.
It's Thailand, eh?
I'm half Korean. Yeah.
North Korean?
South. Why is Poland very safe? If you go to Paris, go to Amsterdam.
I don't know why.
Tell me why.
No, why, my friend?
Tell me
Bro,
why.
we have no immigrants, you know.
We want to go.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. They're on point. I mean, they're on point. Poland is on point. Shout out to Poland. Let's be more like them. You know what I mean? What's my guy talking about here?
When Muslims go and conquer the adjacent country, what do? We kill them all? No. The Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they refuse, then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation. In return, when enemy comes and attack your country, you don't fight. We Muslims protect you. Subhanallah, for this little money? Yes. And you enjoy sitting in your homes and in your country and live your life normally. But the ruling is for Sharia. So you do not open nightclubs, you do not fornicate. If they refuse, then you have to...
If they refuse, what do you do? Do it again? Yeah, see?
Fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take where... Because
He's just admitting it freely, and this has happened for a very long time, and I don't get why people don't see this happening again. Like, it's going to happen.
Because you refuse, I give you two good options in the coming 40, 50 years when the Muslims become strong as they're supposed to be.
So that's what's going to happen when they take power. That's what's going to be. Oh, this is cool. This is a guy making a joke about, you know, in Germany, it says in Germany, because it's kind of cut off. Germany is so far gone that even immigrants have their own jokes about themselves, all being on welfare while the natives work to pay for their lifestyle.
Ein afrikanischer Asylant, ein Schwarzer, läuft morgens durch die Stadt.
An African asylum seeker, a black guy, is walking around the city of Nuremberg.
In Nürnberg, ja.
He talks to the first person he sees and says, "Thank you for taking me in."
Und spricht die erste Person an, die sieht, und sagt, danke, dass Sie mich in Deutschland aufgenommen haben. Danke, dass ich
I
hier
may
leben
live
darf.
here. Thank you for letting me live here, for giving me health insurance, a place to live, and a food to eat.
Krankenversichert bin, Unterkunft habe, Essen.
And
alles, was
everything
dazu
else,
gehört.
the person says, and then the person says, I'm not German, I'm Albanian.
Ich bin kein Deutscher, ich bin Albaner.
Oh, and the Africa says, oh, excuse me, sorry.
Sagt der Afrikaner, oh, Entschuldigung.
He continues walking and speaks to the next person. He says,
Läuft er weiter, spricht die nächste Person an. Sagt zu dieser Person, danke, dass ich in
he
Deutschland leben
says,
darf. Danke
thank
für alles,
you. I thank you that I may live in Germany. Thank you for everything you do for me.
was Sie für mich tun. Sagt die Person,
The person says, oh, I'm not German, I'm Turkish. The African says, oh, excuse me.
kein Deutscher, ich bin Türke. Sagt der Afrikaner, oh, Entschuldigung.
He continues walking. He speaks to the next person. The next person, he says to the next person, he says, thank you for allowing me to live in Germany and that you took me in as a refugee. The person says, I'm not German, I'm Arab. And then the African asks, where are all the Germans? So the African looks around and says, where are all the Germans? And the Arab looks at at his watch and says, probably working. So that's the joke. They have a little joke, you know what I mean? I think it's pretty funny. Sick. There's also videos of, in America, you know, Somali immigrants walking into places like Home Depot and just throwing money out on, just letting money rain on like people that are like, you know, like 70-year-olds that are having to work and not being able to retire. And they're just walking in, throwing around all their government assisted money and being like, yeah, work, slaves. So that's happening. That's a real thing. Oh yeah, this is one of my shows that I watch. It's a great show. It's called Fleckus Talks, and this is covering what's happening with some of the UK stuff.
A lot of migrants in Europe wait outside of bars and they wait for drunk white girls to stumble out, and then they kind of hijack them and do bad things. So you can see here, these two girls have migrants with their arms around them, you know, and they don't know these guys, but they got the arm around them. They're kind of like directing them a certain way. And then the guy comes over and confronts them.
Do you know these? Yeah. These? Yeah. You know them, yeah? Yeah. We are. No, you don't know them. Yeah, you're not with these, though, are you? Yeah. You're not with these, though, are you? Sorry? No. It's okay. Yeah. You're not with them, are you? You're in jogging bottoms. You ain't getting no coloured jogging bottoms. You were literally, I saw you pushing her.
Interesting. As soon as that guy comes up and confronts them, they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And this is this is what I'm saying. These guys are part of most likely part of one of these grooming gangs, and yeah, they're doing this regularly.
She looks scared for her life.
No, not at all, man.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Yes.
What are you doing out tonight? She looks scared for her life, man.
Okay, man.
I know you're just walking away.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought these like your love of your life just said.
See?
And they run away.
What are you running for?
They're running.
Hey! Stop harassing girls, you weirdos!
And keep in mind, in a lot of European countries, pepper spray is illegal. So the women are basically just being like openly sacrificed, and then the men watch. And
that's why it's called Cuckhold Colonization. He's describing it perfectly. Describing it absolutely perfectly. Right, Stella? Right? You agree.
A certain type of good man intervenes. And my favorite is the pride flag flower planters at the beginning, right where the migrants are trying to sexually assault some white women. That's good multiculturalism, guys. That's pretty much it.
That's
right?
what it looks like. A lot of migrants in Europe wait outside of bars and they wait for drunk white girls to stumble out, and then they kind of hijack them and do bad things. So you can see here.
All right, I think I got some other stuff. Let's keep going.
No, that's not a joke. You're reading that right. Out of what?
Oh, yeah, let's keep going. Fewer than 500 of 163,000 asylum seekers found jobs. Almost 163,000 people who applied for asylum in Sweden last year. Less than 500 landed a job, according to a report by a Swedish public broadcaster.
163,000 asylum seekers, less than 500 found a job in Sweden. No, this isn't a joke either. There are more Muslims in Britain who joined ISIS, the Taliban, and other jihadist groups than there were Muslims who joined the British Army. What? No. This isn't a joke either. Syria is asking Germany not to deport Syrian citizens back because it would make Syria more dangerous. What? So who does mass importation of the third world actually help? Well, the typical argument is we're doing it for the economy, to save the GDP. But the problem with that is there is so much data showing third world immigration is a net negative on the economy. And this mass immigration is driving house prices through the roof. But then another argument is, well, there's so much culture they bring. Oh, the culture that's banning dogs in public areas in Wales? Or the culture that's banning gay pride flags in Minnesota because it's offensive to their religion? Or where in Washington, 2 parents beat their daughter?
I'm cool with that part, though. Like, I'm cool with the whole pride flag thing. You know what? I'm cool with that.
Because she refused an arranged marriage with an old man in Iraq? Or in Canada, where sexual assault charges are dropped due to cultural differences? Don't get me wrong, not every immigrant is bad, and there are refugees who do need help. But I think mass immigration will always create more problems than solutions. And I think legal immigration can also be a problem. But what do you guys think? Are you pro-immigration or against it? No.
Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Are you for it or are you against it? Let's get to this other one. Not only are Afghans 20 times more likely to grape a woman in the UK than a native, but it's not only our women that are under threat. This is insane. It says this is not the first case of Afghans getting caught graping, then mutilating the animals.
Farmers kept finding the sheep and the goat with their legs being bound and bleeding profoundly from their private parts. Marseille was recently in the news with a lot of outrage because there was a court case that was going on where a 19-year-old Afghan migrant was sexually assaulting goats and sheep on an educational farm that is not far from here. They actually did a semen DNA analysis on the goats and on the sheep that were assaulted and found him to be the perpetrator. So the farmers kept finding the sheep and the goat with their legs being bound and bleeding profoundly.
Okay, that's not a funny joke. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, so these are the rape statistics here in Europe, a comparison between 2000 and 2023. Now, Poland stands out.
Holy, the difference. It might be small on here. Might not be able to see it. But in 2000, in England and Wales, it's 8,593. And then in 2023, it's 68,109. And all of these, it goes to Germany, France, and Poland. And all of them have the craziest rise. But then it shows Poland, besides Poland. So in 2000, the statistics in Poland for grape statistics were 2,399. And because they don't allow illegal immigration, it fell. It got cut in half. Poland's grape statistics now are only 1,127.
For some reason. And it does make me wonder, what is Poland possibly doing that the other countries are not? Why is Poland so safe when it comes to rape? You know, like it's weird. I mean, Polish women are beautiful as well. So I wonder why. The rape case numbers are so low in comparison to the rest of Europe. Hold on a sec. Maybe it's because they don't let these guys in, right, by the thousands, right, every single day, without fail. Whereas the other countries do. And then they put them in amazing hotels, you know, with amazing food, you know, nice, well-fed, warm beds, a phone, you know, a weekly allowance. Some of them even have jobs and they don't pay tax. Yeah, if only our army veterans, you know, receive that kind of treatment, you know. We really aren't angry enough.
Not at all.
Okay, so these are the...
Not at all. They're not, people in the UK and even Americans, they're not angry enough. And because of that soft new modern Christianity, I don't know if they ever will be.
American melting pot. We do not want to melt into American society and disappear. We want to go into American society with Islamic ideals and revamp their thinking. We want to revamp them. We want to turn them into Muslim individuals. We shouldn't have feelings of a distaste for them or intolerance because they're potential Muslim. Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our final objective is not just to become part of the system that we experience now and that we see, our final objective is to create our own Islamic systems, and not only create Islamic systems for Muslims, but to look at all the other people who are sharing this country with us as potential Muslims. And in that long-range process of making America Muslim, all of America.
That's the goal. That is the goal. That is definitely the goal. It's going to be complete colonization. That's part of the goal. What's happening here?
Young Finnish girl was attacked by a group of young immigrant kids on the way to the metro in her own country, getting filmed and jumped by these sewer rats. Now, I don't want to be biased, so I was trying to find some clips out there of young white Finnish girls attacking a single colored person, for example, but I couldn't find anything. But I found plenty of more videos of young colored people attacking a single white person. Why is that? Why is it socially acceptable to just attack white people? And in Norway, Sweden and Finland, you are taught that we are the racist. We need to be less racist. Newsflash, these Scandinavian countries are the least racist countries in the whole entire world. Go to Saudi Arabia, you will still be a slave. Shut up. And not only that, you have white people growing up as the only white person in school in their own country. In Norway, you have one single white person in the class. This is a reality. Nobody's talking about them. Of course they're getting bullied. Of course they're getting cold potato or whatever, getting racist slurs thrown at them. Of course. But nobody talks about them. It's always the white people's fault, even though they came to the country and they're not adapting and we should be adapting to them, right? Yeah. Everything is still gay and retarded. A young Finnish...
That is true. I concur. I concur about everything being gay and retarded. I agree. What's happening here?
Ich will die Scharia in Deutschland auf jeden Fall.
Würdest du die deutsche Verfassung aushebeln, wenn du die Gelegenheit hättest?
Auf jeden Fall. Wenn man in der Mehrheit ist, wie sie auch erklärt
If we are the majority, as you correctly said,
sind wir dafür befohlen,
we are commanded to take over Germany.
Mit welchen Mitteln wollt ihr die Scharia hier installieren und einen islamischen Staat machen?
Wenn die Muslime in der Überzahl sind, dann, wenn es sein muss, mit Gewalt.
Necessary by force.
Das ist es. Das ist es.
Ihr werdet dann einladen, sozusagen die deutsche Bevölkerung, den Islam anzunehmen, die Scharia zu akzeptieren. Was ist, wenn dann die Deutschen sich wehren dagegen, wenn sie es nicht wollen?
Dann wird angegriffen.
Dann wird angegriffen.
Auf jeden Fall, ja.
Und dann wird auch Gewalt angewendet.
Wenn sie nicht hören, dann ja.
All right, I don't want to get hit for a copyright on some music, so you get the point. If they refuse to obey, then yes. What's the last one? This is the last one I had for tonight. Let's see what he's saying. Oh, sorry, guys.
Islam is a religion of peace. And they act like the victims. They act like we're just here in America to, migrate and seek refuge. But no, friend, Islam does not move to the West. because they need help. There are 54 Muslim states around the world, but for some reason, they never move to the Muslim nation or state. They always move to a Christian country. Why? Number one, they are here to establish Sharia law. You don't understand. The two religions around the world that are expansive by nature are not Hinduism, it's not Judaism, it is Islam and Christianity. We are commanded to go into all the world, preach the gospel, make disciples, and baptize them. Islam is commanded to go into all the world and do two things: establish Sharia law and kill the infidel. They are here to take over the political system. Islam is not a religion, it is a political movement. And that's why I no longer call it just Islam, I call it Islamism or Islamist. It is a political movement that is here to conquer and take over. They took over Egypt, they took over Sudan, they took over Yemen, and next is America. They've taken over the UK, Australia. We are very, very close. Every time I move houses, my neighbor is a Muslim. And what's next? America. Why are they after America? Because America is the pinnacle of Christianity. If they conquer America, the West will fall. If they conquer America, that is the head of the snake, and that is their biggest enemy. That's why in the Muslim countries, what do they shout? They shout, "Death to America." On 9/11 in Egypt, while we were growing up, the Muslims were not saddened to hear about 9/11. They were celebrating in the streets, dancing and jumping, shouting, "Death to America." So Islam is not a religion of peace. They are lying to you. They're a religion of war, violence, and death.
And I'm gonna concur with that as well, just from simply reading some excerpts of the Quran. It's very hard to debate this. It's very hard to debate this when their figurehead Muhammad had slaves, called for decapitation, all types of stuff. While the person, we follow Christ as God, sinless man, never had slaves, never decapitated, didn't have a 9-year-old wife. So again, man, this was called Cuckhold Colonization, and I'm glad you guys joined me and hung out with me. Like I said, this is off the books. We are just going to keep going hard, dropping a live stream once a day, maybe some more content, but I'm going to go hard. I'm going to do this once a day for the next, I don't know, I'm thinking 9 months straight until I have a larger following and you guys are, joining me more. And again, I really do appreciate it. If you tuned in or if you rewatched any of my lives for the past couple of days, I truly, truly appreciate any like, any subscribe, and then also any comment that you get, that you give. And, whenever you get a chance, hit that notification bell. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you're notified. If you're watching on X, make sure you're notified. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're notified. Again, thank you so much. Hey, Stella, what's that? What is that? What is that? You see that? What is it? Stella's saying bye to you. She's not feeling feeling Islam either. Sit your little butt down. Let me see your paw. Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you so much, man. And this is Off the Books, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's keep it off the books, not secrets. Off the books. Joey.